Hey, my name is Kyle Rush, and you are watching the No Counts Given podcast. Dance Team Union is a proud sponsor of the No Counts Given podcast. And y'all, Dance Team Union is going on 10 incredible seasons, okay? This coming up 2025-2026 season, it is 10 incredible years of Dance Team Union. And listen, oftentimes dancers are seen as just supporting elements for other sporting events. The most common misconception that dance is not a sport, and Dance Team Union, they strive for their programs to feel like the main event. Dancers are not placed on the sidelines, but treated and respected as the athletes they are. This need for change in the dance team community is the reason why DTU was created. They are constantly emphasizing that you are the main event through all of their major events and opportunities to this community. Find out when they will be heading to a city near you this season by visiting www.danceteamunion.com. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the No Counts Given podcast, the premier podcast for Dance Team. And before you even say it, I'm going to say it. Yes, I'm recording this intro from my hotel room. I'm in Kentucky. If you watched the podcast, our previous podcast, we didn't do one last week, because 4th of July, but the one before that, you saw that I was in South Dakota, or it was the one before that, or the one before that one. Anyways, I was in South Dakota. I was on a choreography trip. I'm on another choreography trip here in Kentucky. And as you can imagine, my resources are very limited. I was also on vacation. I went to Alaska for 8 days, or on a cruise to Alaska for 8 days. And as you can imagine, packing all of my podcast stuff was pretty impossible. So I am recording this on my MacBook from my hotel in Kentucky. Pre-recording intros always feels so weird to me. So I like to record them like the day before the podcast episode actually goes out. So here I am recording in my hotel room in Kentucky. But this morning I woke up and I had this thought in my head. And in this episode, in the interview with Q, shout out to Q because the interview is amazing. And honestly, the entire time I was editing it, I was just laughing the entire time. And in the episode, I'm like laughing the entire time. That'll tell you pretty much how the interview goes. But I woke up this morning and I had a thought in my head about choreographers. If you're a coach out there, a dancer out there, please do us all a favor and give your choreographers all the love and support and anything they need while they're on their trip. And I'm not saying this because the trip I'm on, I'm not getting that. But in this episode, you're going to hear it. I talk about years ago when I used to do choreography, and I took a very long break from doing choreography because it gets pretty tough, okay? I was doing like 180 days out of the year traveling, which is like half of the year, and mental health, traveling in hotel rooms, constantly on a flight, hotel room, team, meeting new people, it gets very exhausting. And my heart is like with all of my fellow choreographers that are constantly traveling, going on trips. Listen, it gets very lonely, and I feel for you. And having a good support system around you with the teams that you're working with, the coaches that you're working with, directors that you're working with, studio owners that you're working with, I feel is very important to eliminate some of that loneliness. So I just want to say, like, my heart goes out to a lot of the choreographers that are constantly traveling. We're in the like peak of choreography season right now. And I know a lot of us go until like October, November. My choreography trips luckily end mid-October. And this is like one of my last long weeks. I'm here for 6 days. And before I was in South Dakota for like 7 days, and then I have another South Dakota trip for 7 days, and then back to my home studio for 5 days. Like those long trips are very exhausting and overwhelming and can be very lonely. So if you're a choreographer out there, I feel for you. Honestly, like I really get the loneliness and the toll it could take on your mental health. So my heart goes out to all of our fellow choreographers out there that are in the break of their choreography trips. And if you're a coach out there, director out there, advisor out there, studio owner out there, cherish what you have with your choreographers and treat them with all the respect and kindness and love and support that you possibly can, because it is very exhausting. Anyways, today's episode, y'all, we have Quinton, the Quinton. I'm very excited. I was very eager for this interview. Quinton has been, taking over the dance team world. You see him in studio work, you see him in pro work, you see him in college work, high schools. He has teams at Dance Team Union, he has teams at UDA, he has teams at West Coast Elite. I'm pretty sure NDA, like all over the map. So I was very eager to learn more about Q and the work that he's done, especially this past season. I mean, with Fullerton taking home his first UDA title, San Diego State, Miami, like incredible programs that he's definitely made a huge impact on. And I'm very excited. I'm very excited for everyone to hear this interview because it's a good one and it's good laughter. And if you need a good laughter, like this episode's for you. It's a lot of fun. So let's just get into it. Oh, before we do, like the video, subscribe, comment, send it to your friends. If you're watching on Spotify, rate the podcast. I haven't checked lately what our ratings are, or honestly, like any of our analytics. I've been so off the grid these past like 2 weeks. So yeah, give us a rating. Let us know how we're doing. We're definitely trying our best here at No Counts Given. So yeah, and we have a lot of fun stuff coming. Actually, I wish I could talk about it. I wish I could say all of the things that we have planned for this coming season, but I just can't yet. However, just stay in touch, y'all. Stay in touch. I'm telling you. When I say No Counts Given is the premier podcast for dance team, I don't just say that. I mean that. Oh my God, I just messed up my hair. I look crazy. Anyways, okay, here we go. Podcast, episode, interview, Quinton. Let's get into it. I'm gonna stop talking. Enjoy the interview. 5, 6, 7.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Do it again. Run it back. Run it back.
That's the one. All right, here we go. Quinton, so my funny story for you. We crossed paths years ago,
Yes.
and I didn't realize it until this morning. Like, I have this vivid memory, okay? I was dancing on OC All-Stars 2016.
Oh, geez.
And we were going to Worlds, and leading into it, everyone's talking about Quinton on my team. They're like, we can't wait to see Quinton. He's on Pace Elite. And of course, everyone at that time knows Pace Elite. Like that was the time, right? And we went in the front and we're watching, and I didn't realize it until this morning. I went back and I was rewatching those routines, and I was like, oh shit, I was literally standing right there when you guys were performing. And I didn't even realize it until now. I was like, that's Quinton. That's Q.
Wild.
That's wild.
No,
Years
struggle.
ago. Was that your first time like ever going into Palm? Was that your first time ever performing Palm?
First time doing anything. That's why I was like, I don't know if the half T's are half teeing. I don't know if the L's are right. I would just happen to be there.
Do you ever go back and watch that video? Like, oh,
absolutely. I'm like, how was I there? Why was I on that team?
That was a time for dance team. That was a time,
especially for Pace. They were
especially for Pace. I tried to get Dan Sapp on.
It was. We can work on it.
Yeah, we're working on it. We're working on it. I'm sure he's gonna listen. So
he's
Dan,
so private. So we
I
love
know,
you, Dan.
and I get it. Like even just me finding him on social media was a challenge and a half. So it was a time. All right, so there are so many things I want to talk about with you. You're fully in the dance world. High school teams, college teams, pro teams, like you are so immersed into the dance world. Just swimming through, trying to find your way. And we're going to go through all of the fun things that you do, of course, but it's clearly obvious that we start with Rams.
Okay.
You made history. You were one of the first, or the first actually,
there was
male NFL.
Yeah,
and they all came from Rams. No other program.
Rams and then one Jesse Hernandez was on.
Oh, that's right. Saints, yeah.
He had made it in March, April-ish.
Yeah.
So all three of us kind of together.
What was that time like with males being introduced to like the pro world? I mean, to be quite frank, it's clearly you three that built a way for many other people. I mean, even like myself, being able to dance on an all-male dance team in the pro space, which is very crazy. Like, I need more of it, but it is crazy. But what was that time like going through being one of the first to... You were there for what, 5 years? 4 years?
Yeah. To be honest, I don't think I ever allowed myself to enjoy the process. I never understood the magnitude of what was happening. I was just so excited to dance with my friends again. So everything was just kept tying back to excited to be here because my girls.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we're having a good time. And now it's crazy. Like now I'm removed. It's like, oh shoot, that really happened. Like,
no kidding.
Like now there's 40 something boys in the league that have come through the league, especially NFL wise.
Yeah.
NFL or NBA is crazy now. Like everybody has a team.
Everyone.
I think it's really cool. It's exciting.
Yeah.
Super grateful. Literally changed my life. So I think, and even walking into that audition, I didn't have that pressure of, I have to make this team as my dream team. It's like, I want to audition. If I don't make it, I don't make it. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
it's the experience.
I have work tomorrow. Like I'm good. And I honestly think that was kind of what kept it calm and relaxed for me. I literally was just there for a good time.
Yeah, no kidding. Have you watched American Sweethearts this season? Yeah, Dallas.
Not this season.
Okay.
But it makes sense from what I'm hearing. And I had worked with a couple of girls last year at Pro Bowl. And I was like, oh, I get it.
It clicks. Yes. The conversation that's been going around it's been going around for years in the pro space, is the pay. And they got like a 400% pay increase, which is wild. You could actually pay your rent for once with that money now. How do you feel about that conversation with all, I have my own perspective, but I'll let you go, with like all pro sports needing to increase the pay for dancers that are on their program? Or in their organization.
I'd hope this doesn't come off wrong. But I have to seek my truth. You know
go ahead. Go ahead.
I think the increase is awesome for that team in particular, just because they have calendars that come out that generate revenue. They have a TV show that is paid by a whole different company that's generating revenue. You know what I mean? Like, nobody has that. Yeah. So I don't think it's realistic for other teams. You know what I mean? I don't think it's gonna sound crazy to say, but we're kind of an expense as an NFL cheerleader, as an NBA dancer. You're a part of the organization. You know what I mean?
They're paying for choreographers to come in. They're paying for your uniforms.
Everything. Practice times.
And
if they don't need you, they don't need you. Unfortunately, and I think people we're not entitled to anything. And I know us as dancers, and we work our butts off. Like you know what I mean? No kidding. But you also have to understand the business side of it, which sucks. And I even hate saying this out loud. Yeah. I think it's crazy that they're getting that 400% increase, and congratulations. Pay that rent, get that mortgage. You know what I mean? I don't think that'll happen over here.
Nope. Nope. We don't have a Netflix show. We're not making
Netflix money. You know what I mean? That's real money. Yeah. So, congratulations to them though. Like that's it makes you want to join, but that'll never happen.
Yeah. No kidding. I feel like when you're going into a pro team, you know what you're signing up for.
Absolutely.
You're not going in thinking, I'm going to make a salary, I'm going to pay my rent, I'm going to pay for my car. You know what you're making. And I feel like a lot of people go on, it's the exposure and it's the experience. When you have that NFL or NBA name tied to you, it brings a different level of professionalism to your resume. And you get the exposure. You learn how to run social media and how to represent something, so you get what you're signing up
bigger
for.
Than you. I think that's the coolest part. It's like, I'm representing a whole company.
Facts.
So I need to be on my P's and Q's.
Yeah, exactly. No kidding. Do you see a lot of typecasting happening in the pro space?
Ooh,
I had this conversation with Bianca a few weeks ago.
I see it with certain teams, but I also see teams really, really trying to be inclusive of everybody type, every hair type, everything. Like I want to shout out to Michelle Birch, Portland Trailblazers. That team is everything.
I agree.
A bunch of just great dancers, but also different. Like there's no person that can look at that team and not say, I see somebody that looks like me on it.
Trailblazers is one that pops in my head immediately.
Literally.
When I think of like you have everyone on that team, and you don't see that a lot.
No,
in
not
pro
at all.
space.
It's all kind of cookie cutter sometimes.
Yeah.
I will say it's better. I think even going back to the inclusion of males onto the NFL teams, I felt like it went from, okay, we're not just looking for pretty faces, we're not just looking for good people. Now it's like, okay, now we have to dance well. Yeah. And I definitely see a rise in like NFL teams like Chiefs.
Yeah.
Minnesota Vikings, like you guys are pushing. Chiefs are doing full
I know.
full aerials, back handsprings, suck splits, landing on point, with a smile and a palm and a rally.
Yeah.
And so it's exciting to see that now people consider themselves, okay, after college, maybe I do want to go pro and try it out instead of just giving up.
Yeah. So there was this shift in the dance team world that happened once I started going on major competitions, and it's like, of course, you see D1A. Everyone's like, oh, Ohio. And then compare it to Minnesota. I'm starting to see it in the pro space now. I was scrolling on TikTok. This was like 2 days ago. And it was, I don't even remember what team, but they're doing their kicks. They're doing the jump into the splits. And of course, you open up the comments and everyone says, you would never make DCC.
Which is crazy.
It's crazy, like, right?
What if it's not your goal?
Exactly.
I'm not living in Dallas.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not leaving this Cali sun. Like, I'm rocking LA for a reason.
You will not catch me in Dallas. I'm sorry. What I mean?
And I think there's a team for everybody. And I say it to everybody who's auditioning. Like, you literally have to find that team that fits your aesthetic and that fits your vibe and your energy. Sometimes you're in the right place, wrong team.
Yep.
Sometimes it's the wrong time, you know?
Yeah.
But I really do think there is a team for everybody, whether it's NBA, NFL, what is it, semi-pro, and all that. You know, there's so many different ones.
Yeah.
And just find like the team that fits your style. Like, I would love to be a Miami Dolphin.
Oh, for sure.
Or Las Vegas Raider. But that is not. I would walk into the Thank you for your time.
Yeah.
We'll
see you again.
Happening.
Maybe next year.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. No kidding. You work with a lot of programs. Let's talk about like relationship building, because I don't think a lot of people understand how important it is to like build those relationships and then continue them so that way you could have that work next year, the work the following year. What is it like for you when you're going into choreography jobs? Let's say maybe a team you've never worked with, their friend is not your coach, or their coach is not your friend. What is like the goal going into it with the relationship of building with the team and the coach and like immersing yourself in that culture?
Ooh, I feel like I do a lot of vetting before I even say yes to a job, to be honest. Now I'm at a point where I have to say no to a lot this season, just because I really try to find that workplace balance and like.
You're booked.
I'm trying to date, you know what I mean? I like my couch, my house is nice, like my apartment's nice. I'm trying to sit and watch TV.
Yeah, no kidding.
But I also know I don't like excluding myself from new opportunities. So I said yes to a lot of new teams this year. And then my main goal is to come in and just give you a little bit of Quinton. If you like it, great. But you hired me for a reason. Facts. And I want to make sure that I uphold that reason, if that makes any kind of sense. Yeah. So if you want energy, I'm coming for you.
Yeah.
I always say I'm a little petty, I'm a little shady sometimes in choreo season. Like I treat everybody like my own kids at home.
Yeah.
And I've been with these kids for 15 years, so I'm like, ooh, that was trash.
Yeah.
Do it again. Basura.
Yep.
Like,
Basura
5, 6, 7, absolutely not. You know what I mean? Like, absolutely not. But also I feel like I care about everything that I do, so I'm not going to come out and I'm going to hopefully say not give you trash. Like, you know, life happens.
Yeah.
But I'm going to really try my best to make sure I have a piece that's specific for your team. And then make sure at least everybody has a good time. I'm so emotional and energy based. It's crazy.
Yeah. No, I agree. I feel that. I'm the same way. I could walk into a room and you could tell when people are shy. All of a sudden, I'm getting shy.
Thank you.
I'm like, I'm not a shy person. Why are we not talking?
I
don't want to talk.
Yeah. I walk in like, hey, I didn't hear my name. I didn't say hi, Mr. Q. So I'm going to try it again. I'm going to walk out.
Yeah, I'm going to come back in.
I'm not doing this. We're not. I will go home. Like, I'll book that Southwest flight real quick. But no, at the end of the day, I care about every routine that I put on. In terms, that means the teams that I work with, and especially their journey outside of past me. Like, what do you want to do after this? Like, are you trying to go pro?
Yeah.
Do I have connects? Do you want to go to colleges? What are you looking for? Because everybody wants to do the top 1 and 2.
Yeah.
But there's so many different programs that are out there that are fan-freaking-tastic.
Yeah.
And also making sure that the client, the coach, is happy and I finish my job, which is another crazy thing that people get checks and don't finish their dances.
Yeah.
I've heard that so many times this season. And I'm like, that's not even like, what?
That's crazy.
I don't want the check until the dance is done.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean you left and the dance wasn't done? That's crazy to me.
That is actually pretty wild.
Like, it's wild. No shade if it's you.
Paid 4 months before the job happened? Wait a minute. What happened? I hear a lot of horror stories as well, too.
Like, that's wild.
It is crazy. Yep. That's crazy. You do all of this by yourself? Booking the jobs, booking the flights, booking the hotels, booking the music, planning the choreography. Have you ever thought about going into like a choreography agency?
Heck no.
Why not?
For me, I feel like you hired me for me. And as now I am exhausted. I am one person, and I think that kind of gives me grace and it keeps me human and it keeps.
For sure.
I don't want to run a factory.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even though it feels like I'm working in the factory right now by myself.
Yeah.
But there's times like if I'm choreographing and I'm fully present, I'm not on my phone, and I probably won't get to that text for another 2 weeks because chances are next morning I'm on an early flight.
Yeah.
And I'm going to apologize and say, hey, so sorry. But I also know that you would appreciate that when it's your team.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So there's a little bit of craziness in the emails. But I do try my best. I tried to close off books really early this year. So there was no last minute nonsense. And hey, can you come out next week? I'm like, absolutely not.
Yeah. It's not going to happen.
Absolutely not. But no, it is difficult. And then I keep asking myself if I need an assistant, but I'm the Virgo in me is a little bit of a control freak.
You're a Virgo. Okay.
A little bit of a control freak.
We might have to end this podcast a little early.
Beyonce's a Virgo too.
I have a thing against Virgo guys. So
no,
we could go into it later. Maybe you could change my mind. We'll see.
Beyonce's a Virgo and Michael Jackson. I think it's a great month. It's a great sign.
Okay.
I could be biased.
Okay.
But no, it is tough trying to balance it all with
the
scheduling and everything, and especially music nowadays. That's for some reason the time. I mean, everybody wants a palm now. Everybody wants a hip hop. So that, and I don't cut that.
Yeah,
I can cut. I mean, I can spice it up, but I can't put Ariana Grande on top of Madonna with Beyonce in the background. Like, I don't want to do that. I feel like you have to love that.
Yep.
I can add a ding ding if I want, add a breath. You know what I mean? But
like, add a bomb at the ending.
You know? Yeah. Or I was like, I like that section. I had that same song a couple years ago. I'm gonna put that one in.
Yeah.
But there's such a long delay in from when you order to now getting music. That takes the whole 3-4 months, like 3 months, not 3 weeks, 3 weeks.
No, it takes a long time.
A while. So even trying to find a DJ that gets you and your sound and your vibe, and I've been lucky enough to have that as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's crazy, and I'm grateful though. It's
No kidding. How many days a year would you say you travel?
Oh.
Let's count only jobs, not going to see Beyonce.
Well, I try to work on them sooner.
Okay.
I eek. Last season was crazy. And I would say I was at least 200 days out of that year.
Wow.
Like I did the math. I had 67 studios and teams and stuff, but it was over 200 routines.
Yeah.
On top of me being a teacher at my own studio as well. Not my own studio, the studio that I worked at. So that was wild, trying to balance all that and
no kidding.
Try to find time. But
how do you prevent yourself from any kind of burnout?
There's no preventing it. It happens.
It happens, yeah. No kidding.
You see these tears coming in my eye right now?
Yeah. Dance Team Union is a proud sponsor of the No Counts Given podcast. At Dance Team Union, the spotlight shines on you. Join DTU at camps and competitions that focus on bringing your program exactly what you are looking for. What is their mission, you might ask? To make sure your voice is heard loud and clear. DTU is dedicated for being coach and dancer focused because your needs and wants are their top priority, guiding DTU to provide tailor-made opportunities to align perfectly with your vision. Your voice matters. It's what drives them to provide and innovate season after season. Join the DTU family today and let your passion for dance take center stage. Dance Team Union, where your voice inspires greatness. To learn more about their summer camps and competitions and nationals that are really going to be coming right around the corner, go to www.danceteamunion.com. It's going on right now.
We just started.
We just started. No, well, the reason why I ask is because, I took a long break from doing choreography, like right before the pandemic happened till I think like 3 years ago is when I was like, okay, I'll start traveling again. Because I was also going on the rate where I was like away from my house 180 days out of the year. And it's like from one hotel to the next hotel.
Yes.
And I remember going through this phase where I was like laying in bed. It was like the last job that I had before I was like, okay, I need to take a break. I was laying in bed and I was just like, why do all of the walls just look so the same around me? And it was like freaking me out. I was like, these white walls, like I'm just trapped, like I'm not at my house, I'm not in my apartment. And it's like, it took me for a wild ride. And so like, how do you find time within yourself to prevent anything from happening where it's like, I need time for myself because I'm about to go out for 12 weeks and not see my home. How do you keep yourself centered?
I really tried to capitalize on the off season this year, even though it's
no off season.
You know what I mean? It's UDA teams,
on.
NDA teams, DTU teams.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, as soon as January, February starts, oh shoot, high school, all that nonsense.
Yep.
My studio's starting to get up
You got
and
your
going.
solos.
And then NBA, NFL auditions, and so and you're like, oh my gosh, and how did May hit right now?
Yeah.
And my bags are still there in my eyes. Like I thought I had a moment. But honestly, my me time is taking, like, I mean, I know it sounds crazy, but I'm a big Beyonce fan. We all know it.
Yeah, we all see it.
Me booking those concerts and just saying, I'm going to go, I'm going to force myself to go. And take that weekend and don't do anything.
Yeah.
Like, don't do anything.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm such a workhorse. I'm like, I feel bored. I'm not doing enough. But also, like, when I'm on these trips, I try to ask for, I love it when I don't have to land and go straight to work. Or if I can land and maybe work at 4.
Yeah.
I can go get a facial at that time. I can
Yeah.
or I can just literally lay in bed and just not do anything. And those moments, honestly, are what I think kind of get me going.
Yeah.
But I'm also kind of crazy. And as much as I'll be burnt out, the minute I finish a dance, I'll feel like let's go. Yeah.
Yep.
10 more.
Yep.
So I don't know. It's a weird, I guess it's a weird balance. But I definitely think finding the things that calm me down has helped. I've started therapy recently, or 2 years ago.
There we go.
That has helped. Just help me organize my thoughts.
Yeah.
I also have like a little bit of like a speech impediment. Like it gets like super crazy up here.
Yeah.
It takes too long to come out. So I'm like, am I crazy or do I like too much
You're
caffeine?
not crazy, trust me.
So you get it. So it's like,
yeah.
It's just me trying to figure out how I still love what I do. And I told myself as soon as I don't like it, I'm out.
Yeah.
Like hard.
Yeah.
I'm going to real estate school.
Yeah. Have you ever had to turn down a school where you're like, I can't come back? Or a team where you're like,
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. How's that conversation go with the coach? Thank you, but no thank you.
Sometimes it's not
I'm
a conversation
booked. Sorry.
at all.
I'm booked.
I mean, people have to understand, like, I don't understand sometimes the lack of respect people have for people that they're bringing in, or they'll say like, oh my God, we loved you on Instagram. We saw this on TikTok. You want this? And then you'll say, okay, well, here are the dates and rates. Like, well, there it is. Can you go down to this? Absolutely not.
Because I know my worth. Yep. I get it. I get it.
And I'm not out here charging $25,000 for a dance. You know what I mean? Like, I'm still told I'm pretty cheap. And I also know what I can offer outside of that. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I'm really starting. I know me. I know when I walk into a room. I know Quinton.
Yes.
And yeah, no. Sometimes there's not a conversation. I'll walk out like, I have a story.
Yeah. Okay, let's go.
Not gonna say where. I'm just gonna say it was Midwesty-ish.
Okay.
I walked in. The coach had told me via email, I have a team of 14 advanced dancers. We're gonna do a palm. We want to kind of have a hip hop party mix. I was like, dope, easy, fun. Hey, can I get this mix done? Good. I show up, and mind you, they said 14 advanced. Sent me a list of things they can do. It was a lie. It was a lie. I always do.
We
like
have a leg hold. We have a double turn.
Not even. I was like, all right. So I always kind of do like a simple across the floor and move off just to see what you guys can do.
Yep.
Step kick, step tick, ball change, high shenanigans, like calypso.
Yeah.
Just simple things.
Simple things. Yeah.
And I was like, you're shenanigans on the wrong foot and you can't step. I was like, and mind you, these are these jobs that are, I don't have a weekend. I come in, maybe I land at 2. I have 4 to 10, and then I have another 4 to 10 the next day, and I have to get a whole brand new dance done.
Yeah.
Super quick. So I already and I make up everything on spot. So it's like, okay, now I'm confused because you told me X, Y, and Z, and this is not what's happening. So then it took me, I'm not kidding, and I kept it super simple. It took me 4 hours to get through 3 8 counts because I couldn't count and couldn't get ripples. And I was like, you guys, we didn't do anything today. We didn't even get to the turn section that I know I can't do.
Wow.
So I woke up the next morning and I was like, there's no way I'm coming back after this. And I remember I busted it out, whatever. I had an assistant. I was like, I'm just gonna teach you, and we're just gonna get counts done. And I always try to make sure that dance is layered as much as I can. If you want to change something,
go for it.
Like, I'm not that choreographer who's like, don't touch that section. So I've heard that too, and I'm like, y'all are wild. Like, take the ego down a little bit. Yeah. And I remember I didn't finish the dance yet. I think I had 2 8 counts left. I had already called my Uber, and I was like, I'm gonna put wait and save. I said, all right, you guys, last 2 8 counts. We took that quick pick.
Done. Out of there.
I don't even think I got a check from that coach.
You never got a check from the coach, you said?
I'm pretty sure, because there was they wanted some kind of business license nonsense, and I was like,
yeah. Oh,
here's my tax number.
I'm about to start charging you interest per day.
It was just like the school district was wild. I was like, you know what? How about this? It's free. Done. Like I was out.
That is funny. It's free.
Like I'm never coming back here. Like I can't.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
And that happens.
Yeah. I have a funny story too, actually. This was also Midwest, which is funny. Coach reaches out to me. It was an all-star program, and was like, "Can you do a hip hop routine for our open co-ed?" I was like, "Sure, open co-ed hip hop." I was like, "Sure." I go out. This was probably like 2019, 2018. I go out there, and first of all, this gym is tiny and it's hot. There's no air flowing through at all, which is pretty typical.
You don't want to be a diva. You don't want to be a diva.
She's like, it's fine. Dripping sweat before I even dance. I'm like, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Can I get some water? So I walk in, and they told me very similar. They're like, it's a team. They said like team of 12. We have 3 boys. I was like, okay, perfect. I walk in. There were 3 dancers in there. And the coach says, oh, everyone's on vacation, so we're thinking you just teach these 3, and then they'll teach the rest of the team when we get back.
What's that meme with Annalise Keating grabbing her purse?
Yeah.
When she walks out? Absolutely not.
No. I said, okay, you know what? You paid me to be here. You paid me for a routine. Mm-mm. I gave it to them, and then I just told the coach, I was like, I'm already booked next season. If you need any help, like send me a video. I can give you my critiques. Please do not put my name on this routine.
I was generous.
Yeah. I was like, please do not put my name on this routine. I don't think I've ever seen the routine. Thank you, Lord, but it is okay.
My thought process is you want me to create something really good and dope. Even if you don't have your team,
give me alternates.
We're the alternate.
Thank you. Where's the alternate?
What do you mean I have a team, a large group?
Yes.
And you have 3 people here, this trio.
You didn't tell me it's a trio.
No. We're going to step clap.
No.
At this
point. Step clap. No. Shake a pom-pom, step clap, walk off. We're done.
How would you work in these conditions?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, screw the heat. Sure.
Yeah,
you know
sure.
I mean? And we can suck that up.
Yeah.
But like, okay, I have to pretend that I see that visual. I can't, I've said this season, I can't imagine there being a body there and create and do ripple, and it's not going to work. So unless there's a body there, she's not in it.
I can't do it. Yeah, exactly. She's not in it.
And maybe y'all figure it out later. Like I just did UCSB's home routine,
which I cannot wait to see. I am a huge Gachos fan, and when I saw this collab, I was like, okay, I am ready. I'm ready.
I was like, let's go. But they had 5 other freshmen gone, and at first I tried this. They team of 22, but there were 17 there, and I tried. I was like, okay, move. And I looked at the captain. I said, this ain't gonna work. I said, I'm gonna set it for the 17.
Yeah.
You can, and when you guys have 2 months for this UVA camp.
Yeah.
Like, when they get here, if you want to put them in, go for it. I'm gonna set it for the 17 because I have 2 days in a very limited amount of time, and I was like, this isn't gonna work.
Yeah. But, so you go into jobs, and you just do it off the top of your head. Do you like plan formations? You have your wow moments. You have. Does it change? No. I don't know how you do it.
I think that's what the crazy part is, because even when I was when I did San Diego State's routine last year, my friend Raven, I did this little docu-series situation.
Yeah, I watched it this morning, preparing myself. It wasn't a showcase. Which I just want to throw out because I was driving here and I started laughing. I feel like all coaches could kind of relate in a way of a joking, but not. I think you were working with Miami, which we're going to go into in a minute. And you tell one of the girls, you're like, yeah, you're going to do your like round out back handspring. You're going to fall to your stomach. And if you don't get it, you're not on nationals routine next year. I was like, I hate to say how many times I probably actually really said that in my life.
But that's another going back to like, I walk in, I'm like, you guys, I'm petty and I'm shady. Yeah. I'm going to make fun of you. We're going to laugh together. I just want the vibes to be fun.
Yes.
And I don't have a filter.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to say what I want to say.
Yeah.
And we're going to laugh about it. And
yeah.
It sucks you didn't hear the laughs in the background, but she looked like
she's looking at coach.
And she's a freshman, so this is her literally first time
I would have started
out of
crying.
high school, like. So I got to hit it.
Quit dance team. Okay. I'm just gonna quit right here. Okay. You were answering a question right before I cut you off, and I can't even remember what it was. But let's go into Miami.
Let's do it.
It was your first year working with them, correct?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Did you ever do like any game day stuff for them? Was it just straight, we're going in, we're setting nationals jazz?
I don't want to lie. there might have been a possibility where they came to Pro Action, a couple girls,
Mm-hmm.
but nothing on the competition circuit for them.
Yeah. How was that pressure going into D1A? I mean, you did it with San Diego and then Miami.
I feel like the pressure for them, one, it was one of my like first D1A jazzes because I did San Diego's, but that was the same year.
Yeah.
And then when I worked at ASU, that was DTU.
DTU.
So I was nervous, like, okay, hold on, this is the first one with my name on it. Like, I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
But also, I knew that I just went it for them. I wasn't going for a win.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give you my best,
Mm-hmm.
but we also have to know what we're up against. You know, I'm a realist. I'm like, you guys, people are recruiting fourth graders now. Like, you know what I mean? And especially, I mean, shout out to Johnny. She's really building that program, and it's really exciting to see.
Yeah.
But I wanted something that was going to be memorable. And I was like, I think knowing what happened the year before with their choreo issues and how they had the same song as Minnesota and going back to back.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
it was wild.
That is crazy.
I was like, we have to go totally different.
Yeah.
And I want people to hear this and see this and say, Quinton did this.
Yeah.
And I loved it. I think could it have been cleaner? I think we're always like that.
Yeah.
Why is that, you know what I mean? But like, was the vibe there?
It was
Absolutely.
there. Yeah.
And I had a blast. I think it was cool. And I was also the first episode of my first time filming. Yeah.
Um,
the whole process. So it was easy. It was fun. I wanted to make sure that I didn't want to disappoint Johnny.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's not that it's hard to work with friends, but I feel like there's a little extra pressure.
Yeah.
Because you wanna
get
everybody happy.
Yeah, exactly.
You know
yeah.
I mean? And we also know we all have friends that are in this business that you're like, I hired this person and it was not good. I was like, I hope she was doing that on me.
That's funny.
But again, my whole thing was, when we leave, I want everybody happy. I want the athletic director happy.
Yeah.
I want, like, when they show the cheer team, I want the cheer team screaming. And that's what happened. And I knew it was going to be a moment. I think it was day 2. I was like, oh, this is it.
Mm-hmm.
We're in.
Mm-hmm. Did you feel like the love for the routine like right after day 1? Because I mean,
Absolutely.
It was all over TikTok and
crazy.
It was crazy, and people were hyping it up, and it was so great to see for Miami. And
Absolutely.
I think it also put a lot of athletes, like, they started looking more into the program. I have a athlete that she's a junior this year, and I go back and I work with them like every 3 months, and she gives me like a list of colleges that she's looking into. And she sat down with me and she's like, what about Miami? And immediately I was like, yes, immediate yes. And it was like your routine that she saw, that she was like, I love this style. It feels like me, and like the vibe is there, and it just put Miami on a different level.
And that's what I'm trying to say. Goal when you're trying to build a program. You know what I mean? Everybody wants to win. Everybody wants to get, you know what I mean?
You got to work your way there.
You have to, and that takes time. I've heard that it took almost 10 years to rebuild a program.
Wow.
This is Johnny's 3rd.
Wow.
So I'm like, you have time.
Yeah.
But especially like there's that area is so saturated with greatness that I'm like, because I think there was maybe one choreographer girl that came. Now I'm like, you keep this
tap
up
into that school.
It can literally be a feeder program. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
St. Brendan's, I think. Brendan's. There's another one.
Sounds familiar, yeah.
But there's so many.
I mean, just in Miami alone, there's so many great programs. Like, it is. Yeah, I think that all the time. I'm like, they need to, all Florida teams, like, they need to dig into their high schools a little bit more.
You don't have to venture out at all.
No, they're literally in your backyard. Just go knocking on some doors. Yeah.
In-state tuition, we got you.
No kidding. You could, I don't know if you're allowed to tell me or not. Are you working with them this year?
Yeah.
Okay.
So all my, that was the first thing I booked, was all the UDA teams.
Love.
I have a new one this year I'm really excited about.
What division?
D1A Palm.
Let's go. I think I have an idea.
I can say it. I don't care.
Texas Tech?
No.
Oh.
No.
I could see Texas Tech on, like, that collaboration at Palm would be fire.
They have Jenny Eustace, who is,
I know, she's incredible.
I actually collabed with her this weekend on a senior jazz for an all-star team, and it was the easiest process I've ever done.
I love that.
We don't know each other like that.
Yeah.
Like, we know we've talked, but we haven't like sat down.
Yeah.
Had 5 glasses of wine and like chit-chatted. And I was like, this is dope. And she was saying a lot of cool things. And it was really cool to work with somebody who was so respected, and she kept saying the same thing about me, and I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Danny Eustace. Like,
you're Queen Danny. No kidding. Yeah.
It was honored. It was special, and I was honored to be in that, to share that space with her.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind consulting. Well, probably not anymore.
Oh.
Because I have it. Yeah, I can't.
Oh, because you have a D1A team on
Aaron brought me in last year, and I was like, I don't know what you want me to do. This is too good. I was like, y'all got a week before nationals, and this is fantastic.
Yeah,
like,
no kidding.
I texted Danny right away, and I was like, you put your whole ass in this routine. I was like, I didn't know what section was my favorite. But I'm doing University of Colorado Boulder.
Oh, I actually love that for them.
Like,
I know that they've been trying to rebuild their palm for quite a while now. I used to do their music actually
years
ago. Yeah. Oh, I love that for them. So I'm excited to see. Excited. That's going to be a good one. San Diego.
Yes.
How was that collaboration process?
Easy. Raven's my girl.
Yeah? You guys have like work. Don't you guys teach at the same studio?
No.
Oh.
Actually, our studios are competing against each other this weekend.
Oh, love that for you guys.
But it's such a, like, my kids come take her class.
Yeah.
Her kids, like, we're close.
It's community.
Proximity, literally. And I think that's why I love working with her and love just the Inland Empire in general.
Yeah.
Especially I didn't grow up competing against her, but we grew up in the same dance adult company. So you see everybody grow up, you see her open a studio, you're like, that's dope. I love that. I've always been a fan.
Yeah.
And so when they asked me if I could collab, because they got rid of their game day routine. That's what I used to do.
Yeah.
I was like, well, you can ask Raven. I don't want to take it.
Yeah.
But ask her if she's okay. And she's like, of course, duh. Let's run it then. But again, it was my first collab in anything. Cause I don't really, besides my assistants, it's like, it's just me.
Just you.
And to see her process and see my process, and like, well, I didn't have a process, apparently.
I know, I watched the video.
But then you think, and you're like, wait, I really do have a process. But
it's just yours. It's just how
it really, you know what I mean? I'll hear it, and I'm like, that's turn section. That sounds like craziness.
Yeah.
Okay. I see bump flip. I was like, but I don't know that until I see you.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense.
Because if not, it's going to be cookie cutter.
Yeah. No kidding.
For me, at least.
I've always loved, well, especially I want to say it was 2024 game day you did for San Diego.
Yeah,
was one of my yes, that was one of my favorites. And it was funny because I don't watch game day. When it comes to UDA, I don't either. I'm like, I don't know what these scores mean. I don't know what the captions mean. It's just go out there. But it was my first year actually like sitting and watching game day. And I remember it was like Alabama and San Diego. The two that I was like, those are like the only two that really made sense to me for game day. Everyone else was like throwing out full turn combos.
Thank you.
Back tucks. I'm like, I don't see that on the grass. What are we doing?
The field. Stop
yeah.
it. Stop
so would love to see San Diego do game day again.
Yeah, they wanted to really focus on just the two this season.
I mean, it worked for them, clearly.
Yeah.
It clearly worked for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because their football season and basketball season is so tight that even trying to get them to UDA is crazy. So, like,
oh, I'm sure.
They're like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
We got to focus. Let's dumb it down a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's take one thing out, take one thing away, and then we'll just focus on those two and see what happens.
Love that. Fullerton. I love this for you. I don't know. I don't even know where to start with Fullerton because I think you've been working with them. This would be your 5th year now going into it, right? I think it was the past 3 years when I like really started watching. They're in D1 Palm, and love Fullerton. But there was something about this year that was just insane. Like it felt really you in a sense. Like when I watch Palm routines that you're creating, it felt like you. What was that process like going into it?
The easiest process ever.
Yeah?
I think this was year 4 going into it, so I knew. I walked in, I already knew who you can't be in that turn section. You're in the back, you're a center.
Yep.
So you already start knowing those things. And I like to be involved with them all year. So when I see my pro action, I'm kind of looking like, okay, who my jazz girl is? You know what I mean? Because they don't start getting together until like when school starts.
Yeah.
So I walk in and just hope it works out. But this one, it felt, I think I got done really early. And I remember, I was like, wait, you guys, this is, and I think I said it on camera. I was like, I think I'm going to win this year. I was like, and that's just me being hopeful, wishful thinking. I was like, wait, you like, and I don't know how it just all worked out. And sometimes you see a routine and the coaches take it. They didn't really change anything.
Just left it.
Making the turn section. That turn section was not me. That was them.
I was Which one?
Ooh, the
first, second,
one.
or third?
The first one. They layered it.
Yeah.
I was like, I would have never thought of that. Like you took your strongest turners and dropped them down and said, no.
Yeah.
Hit something else.
Yeah.
Come back. I was like, what?
It was brilliant. The visuals in that and the difficulty and first of all the length, because that turn combo was forever. Like it was insane.
The music tells you what to do.
Yeah.
And dance to the music.
Yeah.
But I just love the trust in that program, and I think I go into every team as if it's my last. Cause it's just business, and it's happened already.
Yeah.
So I'm like, so I just never know. So even when I messaged her a couple weeks ago, Jenny, the coach, I was like, hey, if you ask me back next year, I think I have a theme, but if not, no worries.
Yeah.
Like I get it. And she was like, you're annoying.
We literally just won. Why would we not?
I just want to because I also, that's kind of like my defense mechanism to protect my heart. I'm sensitive as hell behind this blonde hair. But no, the process was really, really easy, and it was really fun, and it felt like they starting to get me as well. And now I'm seeing girls that I've kind of had a part in their junior high school or their high school journey or studio journey.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, now you're on the team.
Yeah.
Heck yes.
That's
center.
crazy.
You already works. Like they put out the picture and I'm like, I already have the turn section laid out.
Yeah.
Which I feel like that gives me an advantage, whereas some teams when you go into a program, you're like, it's trial and error for the first day and a half. And you're like, shoot, this is taking forever.
Yeah.
But when you can get those core things and okay, she has a sick full, she can do this, you already know you're starting to choreograph it as if it's your own team. And that's why I felt like this year went really well. Because I was like, no, I know exactly what you can do. And I know how you get when you're tired. And I know, so we got to do this a little bit. So it was awesome.
That's amazing. Well, congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
I know that was a big moment for you.
Oh, I cried.
Yeah.
I think I'm still crying. I have to get a tattoo because I said it on camera.
I wrote right here on my thing. I said, did you ever get your tattoo? Because you mentioned that in your documentary.
I'm trying to figure out how to not make it look cheesy.
Yeah.
But I'm a man of my word. And I said if it happened and it happened, so I got to figure out how to, I don't know if it's going to be an F or it's going to be like an elephant tusk or something. But something to represent that. But I also, like I said, I'm a man of my word, and that's something that I hold dear is that.
Yeah.
I said it, let's do it.
You
dance for me, and now I got to show up for you. So
yeah, I can't wait to see it. Last topic I want to go into. So you have routines that have touched UDA, NDA, DTU, West Coast Elite. You're in studio, like you are everywhere. What are like the big differences that you see in terms of like scoring when it comes to these competitions?
Well, when it comes to like a WCE in the high school circuit, I think if you want to I can say varsity and WCE. I think the difference is the I can't say there's not a score sheet.
Yeah,
but it's like I know when I'm choreographing a palm for a WCE, like okay, I can kind of be a little more stylized with it. It's the Cali judges, Cali teams. Most of the judges probably didn't compete palm, so they're not looking. Yes, your palm technique needs to be good. Trust. Individuals need to be there, but like you can have a little more of a jazzy feel to it. Whereas if it's a varsity routine, I'm like, I'm gonna give you a little Quinton spice, but not too much, unless you're a team that I know that can pull it off and handle it. Because I remember when I first started choreographing palm, it was too jazzy. And I was like, well, what do you want me to do? I'm a jazz dancer. And now I get it.
Yeah.
But now it's like, that's the main difference between the high school circuit. I think when in the college circuit, I don't know. Because
you put something out there, you're like, oh, this is going to be sick. We're going to score high. Then all of a sudden you're like 81, 82. What the hell did I do? Like and
I'm like,
it's crazy.
That was trash.
Yeah.
Respectfully. Or you're like, how about this? The execution wasn't as strong as the others. And I'm like, but what about that? What was the vibe? Like I would just want more consistency. Yeah. Because even like with my studio kids, like I know for a fact, like when we're going to countdown finals, they are vibe based. You can come out there with the prettiest leg, Did you make me feel something? You know what I mean? And was a song dope? And I know you kind of know how to play what system, and like, okay, well, you're not that strong of a dancer, but I'm gonna give you a really dope song. You're gonna move this, hit this beat.
Yeah.
I promise it's gonna be over.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like sometimes, especially in the varsity brand, now it is a put it in the bag, crapshoot. It's like, all right, whatever. And at this point, I feel like even as choreographers, I feel like I've heard people say they're not even, which is crazy. They're not even focused on the win anymore. They're trying to go viral, which I think that's wild.
That's crazy.
Virality. They were like, well, I can get paid. I was like, wait. Okay.
It's worth that $100 you're gonna make? No, it's not.
That's what I'm
crazy.
saying. So
coaching with the goal of going viral is insane.
I said, thank you so much. You can check in 2027
when you're ready to be competitive. Hit me up.
No. Or I hate it when they say we want something like Miami, and then you get there, and I'm like,
you can't handle it.
This is giving all that jazz, y'all. This is not happening. This is not happening. Not happening.
That's funny.
It's wild.
That's crazy. We're out of time.
Damn.
Already.
That was fast.
Q, I appreciate you coming on.
Oh, thank you for having me,
We're going to have a part 2 because I only went through half of the questions that I had.
That's crazy.
So maybe closer to UDA. Let's have a part 2. Okay. I want to, or even after. Let's talk after.
That's going to stress me out.
That's the goal.
Oh, I'm going to go on his TikTok. He's going to read me, you guys. He's going to read me.
I'm actually not doing, it'll be a conversation.
Okay.
I'm not doing UDA TikTok anymore.
Okay.
I'll tell you why we turn off these cameras.
Okay.
I hope you guys enjoyed that interview with Q. Definitely a part 2 coming. Okay. I get it. I'm going to be honest. We got into conversation, and the space that I booked, I only had about an hour in that space, and we were just talking, and it was like the last 5 minutes of the interview. I checked the time and I was like, oh shoot, we got to be out of here in 5 minutes. I had to wrap it up. And we didn't even get into like the bulk of like the conversation I wanted to get on. In the episode, I mentioned that I want to talk with him like after UDA. Screw that. Q, when you're ready to come back on, you let me know. I'm ready to continue the conversation and get into like the real bulk of what I really wanted to get into with you. But anyways, like the video, subscribe, y'all. Send it to your friends. I hope you guys are enjoying what we are doing here at No Counts Given. And yeah, have a great rest of your Thursday or Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever day you are watching this. Bye.